Good morning, everyone. Mary LaPlante here with A Recreated Life, and today I am really excited to do this video for you. I'm taking you along with me on a ride along. Today I'm going to go to my son's house and we are going to boil sap. We're going to make maple syrup. So just a few little tips before I take off to go. Just to let you know, the ratio of sap to maple syrup is it takes 40 gallons of sap to make 1 quart of maple syrup. So that ratio is huge. And I enjoy doing this. I got to tell you, I'm excited about it today. But everybody I know that does it says, oh, it's a lot of work. And it's not worth it to sell. Most people I know make it their own personal use. They don't sell it like commercially or anything. Anyway, I'm going to take off. My son lives about an hour and a half away from me. I live in Central Maine, and he lives like on the coast. So I'm going to pick up the camera when I get there and show you, hopefully he hasn't collected the sap for today, but I'll show you the taps that they put in the trees, the buckets, how they collect it all, how he boils it. There's usually a big boil on the outside somewhere, like he has a special evaporator that he's going to be using today. Fill it with wood. It's a wood-fired evaporator. And then when it gets down to a certain point, it's close to being done, you bring it inside and you finish it off inside. And then you bottle it up and you're good to go. So I cannot wait for you guys to see this. This is really interesting. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, so I'll pick up the camera when I get to his house. So here we are at my son's house. And I wanted to show you the tapping operation. So this is his, this is actually a sugar maple, he tells me, and these are his taps. So that's what he's got in the tree. There's the hose. The sap comes down, the hose goes into that bucket. Let me see if I can pick up the cover. And there it is. So that's how it all begins. He's got 2 taps in this tree. I guess it's the right size. Now I'm going to try to turn the camera around to another tree with a bucket in it. Don't want to make you guys dizzy, so I'll go slow. So here's another tree. It's much smaller, and it has just 1 tap in it. I guess it's the size of the tree that matters. The circumference of the tree. And so this is just a big Rubbermaid trash can that he keeps the sap in as he collects it until he's ready to boil. We think this is like a 30-gallon trash can, and he's been boiling all day. So here's the operation. He's got 2 pans filled with the sap boiling away. This is his evaporator. And so this is how it works. The fire. And then it just evaporates. And it takes quite a while. It's probably 9:30 a.m. and he's been boiling for 2 hours. So, and I made a mistake. It's 40 gallons of sap to 1 gallon of maple syrup. So that's the ratio. So anyway, this is the outside operation. That's how he does it. Okay, so he just added more sap. So what he's doing is, excuse the noise, he's got a chainsaw going and he's cutting up some more wood to fill the fire. But what he's done here is he's just continuing to as it boils down, he adds more sap and they'll just boil, boil, boil. All that steam that you see coming up is all the evaporation that needs to take place in order to get the syrup to the point that we want it. So anyway, we're just going to keep adding all day. Okay, there's a rip-roaring fire going in there now. We've added sap, 2 or 3 times so it's getting darker. You can see the color of it is a little darker. It's really, really got a hot fire going now, so it's boiling down quickly. It's probably about 11 o'clock, so it's been going since 7:30 this morning. We have a little bit more sap to boil down, and he's going to go collect the last of it. We had a little bit of a fire piece of wood fell out of the stove and created a little fire we had to put out. So that's where we're at now. Okay, so here is the process of taking the taps out of the tree. You just pull them out when time comes. When the season's done, so no more sap collecting for this year. Just take them out of the tree, clean everything up, and put it away for next year. Okay, everybody, it's 3 in the afternoon, and here we are. We're down to our last container. We've combined both containers and put them into one. And as you can see, it's quite dark, so we're just getting it finished off as much as we can outside. Then we're going to bring it inside and finish it off. So here's the cleanup stage. I've got the big bucket that he had sap in, and I filled it with water and some Dawn dish detergent. I washed up all the white buckets. That's the only one left. All of the hoses and the taps are going to go in the dishwasher. But I've got one pan in there soaking, and the other pan is on, just finishing up on the stove. So here are all the white buckets, the trash can cover, and the white buckets, and all of the dishes that we used, all the covers, all of the dishes that we used to collect the sap. Okay, this is what we got from the outside boil. Now we're inside, and this is all the maple syrup that we got from the pans that we saw earlier. So, I don't know, maybe there'll be a couple quarts, 3 quarts maybe, we're thinking. But anyway, we're just starting to boil it inside. Okay, here is the final count of the maple syrup. These are all the quarts that we got today. Hi everybody. Okay, so I'm finally home. It was a long, hard day of boiling sap at 7:30. So I've been gone quite a while today. It was exhausting, but it was fun too. I really enjoyed this day. I hope that you guys enjoy the video, because this was it was so informative and so fun. It was like sitting around a campfire all day. It was really fun. I just wanted to hop on and give you guys just a few details, you know, some facts and figures and things like that that my son told me. I hope the lighting's okay. I don't usually film at night, but I really want to finish this up, wrap this up, so I can edit and get the video posted on Tuesday. So my son, oh, by the way, I wanted to show you, he gave me this. This is the maple syrup that we did today. It's still warm, you guys. So he gave me a little bit to take home after all of our hard work. Okay, so you guys saw from the video that I did that my son boiled the sap using the evaporator that he got. That's a wood stove, so he burned wood, and basically he just used wood that he had around the house. Now usually how he's been doing it for the past 5 years or so is he had one of those bases that you get the deep fryer, turkey deep fryers. He had a base like that with a pan that went right on top of it, and so he used propane to boil down the sap. Now he told me that he usually spent between $80 and $100 on the propane. So doing your own syrup that way using propane really was no cheaper. I mean, it's not it's very labor intensive and not cheap. But this year he did spend $300 on that evaporator that's in the video. So that's a different one that he usually uses. So he bought that this year, and he used the wood around the house. So I'm sure it will take a few years for him to recoup his excuse me, his expenses for the cooker. But anyway, in the long run, it's going to be definitely cheaper to do it that way. Okay, so this year he said that he had 17 taps. He tapped 17 taps, and he averaged 2 taps per tree. His stove was $300, like I said. The wood was from his own property. He said, I don't know how much. I don't think I asked him. But I did find from him, I mentioned it in one of the videos. At the beginning of the day, I had said it was 40 gallons of sap to 1 quart of syrup, but I was wrong. It's 40 gallons of sap to 1 gallon of syrup. So that ratio is pretty high. You got to boil evaporate a lot of water out of that sap before you get actual syrup. Excuse me. Okay, let's see. And when I asked, he's been doing this for about 5 years, and I asked him when he originally got started 5 years ago, where did he get the taps and the hoses and things like that? He got them at a hardware store called True Value around our area, but he did say they were hard to find. Excuse me. Okay, and then when I brought it inside, I took a video of the sap in the pot. I can't remember if the thermometer was in there, but he does have a thermometer, like a candy thermometer, and it has to get up to 219 degrees before it's done. And then you end up with this stuff. So 219 degrees, and then you can see it's quite dark. You can't see, the lighting isn't very good in here, but it is quite dark. Let's see, what else? I'm looking at my notes here. Oh, this is a little tip that he told me. The sooner you boil the sap after collecting your sap from the trees, the lighter the maple syrup will be. Because sometimes you notice you buy maple syrup and it'll say amber. So that must be how they do it. They collect the sap and then right away, boil it down to make the syrup. So if you do that, you're going to get a lighter colored syrup. This he had sitting, he collected it in that big garbage, that 30-gallon garbage can that I showed you. He collected it in that, and then when he got enough, he just boiled it down. And a couple things he told me were kind of like old wives' tales things, how to tell when to stop tapping trees. You start tapping trees when the temperature is above freezing during the day but below freezing at night. And then you stop tapping the trees. You stop collecting syrup when you start, number one, when you start seeing moths or moths are in your sap buckets. And number two, when the trees start to bud. And the trees were starting to bud. His maple trees were starting to bud. So it was time to stop. And you can notice it anyway because the sap will stop running. It just doesn't run like it used to. So anyway, I hope that you guys enjoy this video. I'm totally exhausted, but I'm a happy camper because it was fun. It was like sitting around a campfire all day. It was so much fun. And it's really rewarding. I mean, that picture that I took at the end of the video, at the very end with all of the canning jars lined up, filled with syrup, that's so rewarding. And I mean, he just does it for his family. And most people I know do it for their family. So anyway, you guys, this was fun. I hope you enjoyed the video. It was great. I'm really glad I got a chance to do this. I have the feeling this might be a tad bit long video, but please bear with it because it's well worth it. So guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so and hit that notification button so you can be notified every time I get a video, every time I upload a video. And comment below and let me know if you guys have ever tried this. It's really unusual and fun. It's a fun thing to do in my neck of the woods anyway. So everybody, have a great day, and I hope you enjoy your evening and have a great weekend. Bye-bye.